So the national anthem's over and done with, and the players peel away to warm up before the start of this World Club Championship game. Wigan, of course, with plenty to prove in this match, defeated 34-0 over in Australia by Brisbane. Can they get their own back this time and restore just a little bit more of the pride in British rugby? We shall see, but this Brisbane outfit, a very, very strong side indeed. To run through the two teams for you, first of all, Wigan, the fullback is Henry Paul. Then it's Jason Robinson, Chris Radlinski, Gary Connolly and Andy Johnson, Nigel Wright and Craig Murdoch. And then the forwards, Neil Cowie, Mick Cassidy, Terry O'Connor, Simon Horton and Stuart Lester, and Andy Farrell is the loose forward and captain. Then the substitutes, well, Lee Hansen, Stephen Holgate, Dale Tallick and Darryl Cardis. Very quickly, the Brisbane side, that's Darren Lockyer, Michael De Vere, Steve Renouf, Anthony Mundine and Wendell Saylor, Kevin Walters and Alan Langer, Glenn Lazarus, John Driscoll, Andrew G, Brad Thorne, Peter Ryan and Darren Smith. Their substitutes, Ben Walker, Philip Lee, Tony Carroll and Shane Walker. The referee is Stuart Cummings. All we're missing is the little bit of stand before the Australians get the game underway. So off we go. 40 minutes of what we hope will be really exciting rugby. And Wigan get early possession. Farrell launching the attack. Good run that. Ooh, and he got a knee in the back as well for his pains there, and he was not a happy camper about that, Terry O'Connor. Farrell with the kick, and well, they decide to leave things as they were over on that far side. Mike De Vere, good kick from Farrell. Good crowd inside Central Park for this one. The conditions, I suppose, almost ideal, perhaps a little bit too hot for the players down there, but very little breeze. The pitch in absolutely perfect condition, no sunshine, but it is a humid evening here in Wigan. Brisbane in possession for the first time in the game. Good tackle though by Radlinski. Bright and breezy off the ball, these Australians. There's Driscoll. Langer with the kick. Didn't get hold of it properly, took it perhaps a little bit too early, but it's an effective one nevertheless, and it's Penn Wigan right back, and a good chase there by the Brisbane forwards. Henry Paul trying to break through, or rather Jason Robinson, I should say. A good change of direction. Right it was. There's Simon Horton. Good quick play the ball by Wigan. That was good work. It's Paul who got a knee, I think, in the face there late. And Stuart Cummings, the referee, spotted it. The roar from the crowd, just seeing the kick again. It was Anthony Mundine who was the offender. O'Connor eager for work, it seems. ball. Lays it off to Connolly. Again, late challenge. The Wigan crowd don't like it, and neither does the referee. That time it was Brad Thorne who was in late. Again, the flop and a little bit more. And Anthony Farrell is going to have a go at the post. Andy Farrell is going to have a go at the posts. So Farrell with the chance to put 2 points on the board for Wigan. It's been a good start by them. They've had plenty of possession, which is important for them. Farrell just calling for some more sand or sawdust. In fact, he's calling for some water, just to add to the sand, to just try and compound it a little bit more to make sure that it doesn't all slide away. So here's Farrell, eminently kickable. 29 metres from the posts, sliced it and it's just gone wide. Has it? No, it's in. Well, I thought for a minute it was drifting wide of the post, but it was between the sticks. So Wigan lead here against Brisbane Broncos by 2 points to 0. Wendell Saylor with the run. Andrew G tackled. Crowd asking for a forward pass. Here's Langer. Good tackle on Mundine. Langer once again, good change of direction, although they weren't quite ready for it. But Robinson takes it. Now can Robinson try and jink his way out of trouble with just a line of jerseys, those Brisbane jerseys in front of him. They were up very quickly for the kick. Crowd calling for offside. Portman, meanwhile, carrying on the play. There's Connolly. Couldn't break the cover. And the ball goes into touch. Or a foot does. Good cover defence. So Alan Langer puts the ball in and gets it back again. Malters trying to lay it off, but well caught in the tackle. To have perhaps one or two spare bodies here. Brisbane with that great tackle. That was good play there by Stuart Lester. And this is the farthest Brisbane have been inside the Wigan half, and we've had 5 minutes of this game. Mundine. Langer had to snatch at it. Wigan just doing well enough to allow Brisbane to, in the end, keep the ball moving, and it was great work by Brisbane Broncos. They've got to be in here. That was a great tackle, though. Superb play in the end. It was a try-saving effort down at that far end of the field. It really was, by Andy Johnson, because it looked try time for the Aussies. They looked as though they were going to lose it. They were put under pressure by Wigan, but in the end, they got the ball away beautifully. And in the end, Andy Johnson's tackle really was a try-saver. Murdoch flicking it on. There's Farrell laying it off. Horton can't build up any steam. Meanwhile, just out of your picture, Henry Paul is receiving treatment to a shoulder injury. Crowd screaming for offside, and there was, well, certainly one player offside by 5 yards, and a fist going in there from Brisbane as well, which wasn't picked up by the referee. It was Peter Ryan who threw it. Paul, by the way, is up and continuing. Andrew G eventually brought down. Murdoch doing the tackling. Randall Saylor. Oh, it was a big swing there by Mick Cassidy. And the ball dropped, but maybe picked up again by the Broncos, but the referee is having none of it. Knock on. Well, good play by Wigan, but this is a tough old game, that's for sure. Neither side would have expected any different, I'm sure. It was Lockyer who dropped the ball. And there's going to be a blood bidding because Gary Connolly is going to come off the field. So on comes number 21, Darryl Cardis. Well, Gary Connolly patches himself up, and it looks as though he may need some stitches in that. Here's Robinson. Big boost to have him back in the side. Here's Robinson. Good run by little Jason Robinson. Johnson. He took a big hit there, but Cassidy made ground. The crowd roaring Wigan on. Farrell, great effort. Ooh, nice little change of direction, almost came off there for Murdoch. Last tackle. Little dink through, but it was well watched by that Broncos defence, and they come up with the ball. Renouf it was, I think, who leapt on it in the end. Wigan caught offside. The fans, of course, complaining that there have been a few more offsides before that Stuart Cummings hadn't picked up on. Glenn Lazarus tackled. A good little run from the acting half-back position. That was John Driscoll. Langer. Oh, lovely little ball. And there's a try here for Brisbane. The crowd was screaming forward. No way it was. Kevin Walters gets in, and Kevin Walters scores for Brisbane Broncos. Well, the crowd still screaming forward pass, but that was a lovely delivery all of a sudden by Alan Langer, and Walters was alongside him, and the Wigan cover was nowhere. Stuart Cummings just having a word with his touch judge on the far side about something. And he's given a try. Obviously just checking that there was no sign of a forward pass. So Brisbane lead by 4 points to 2. Crowd booing again because they've just seen a replay on the diamond screen here, which I must say looked as though it might just have been forward. It was a very close call, that's for sure. Darren Lockyer, who scored 5 goals in the game down under, trying to tab on the extras here. And he's done so. Lovely kick by Darren Lockyer. So it's Wigan 2, Brisbane 6. .5 minutes gone then. And the Broncos to restart. Well, again, there was certainly a man in an offside position when that ball was played. Kick downfield from Farrell, straight into the arms of Lockyer. Well, it looked like a little bit of a knock on there, and it was. Now, a bad mistake that by Brisbane. And very uncharacteristically, it was Langer who made it. Ball tackle, this is Johnson. Wigan almost inside the red zone, they are now. Again, good work by Terry O'Connor. What can Wigan produce here? But again, this Brisbane line, as all the Australians have been in these matches, up very quickly, up in a straight line. Could change of direction, right. What can Horton do here? Oh, flips it out, and it's just collected by Radlinski. This is Robinson. Nowhere to go. Again, good defence by the Australians. Last tackle coming up. Little chip forward, comfortably taken by Mundine. And good defending by the Australians. Here's Saylor, who's got real pace and power. Driscoll getting it away. Again, Lazarus tackled. Last tackle this for the Australians. There's Lockyer. Again, intelligent kicking, forcing Robinson back towards his own line, and he picks up close to that line, manages to get back over the try line. But it was a lovely, intelligent kick, and Wigan now penned in and having to work hard to get the ball away from their own try line. Langer just going off, and on as a substitute for Brisbane is Tony Carroll. But there's problems here for Wigan. Mundine just brought down, the ball got away, but it was dropped, a knock on, so Wigan get away with that one. But again, just showing the potential of the Australians. All of a sudden they can produce the little break through the defence, which must be worrying as far as the Wigan coaching staff are concerned. "20 minutes of the game gone. Wigan 2 and Brisbane 6. Well, it looked high. Mr. Cummins didn't think so. Here's O'Connor. Cowie getting the ball away. Robinson managing to pick up some pieces. Here's Wright. Paul is in the attack. Farrell is there. Radlinski close to him, but it was all getting a little bit tight over there. Murdoch. Good kick that time. Saylor forced to chase. That's Tavir, makes good progress. Oh, a tackle not completed, but the referee says yes it was. You got up off the ground, and so Brisbane penalised there. Tony Carroll, the substitute it was. Connolly available to come back on again for Wigan, and Darryl Cardis is going to be the man who's going to come off. Meanwhile, that's Cowie. Cowie, of course, sent home from Australia by Wigan for failing to turn up for training. Be nice if he could make amends here. Murdoch. Farrell flinging it wide. Radlinski trying to step inside. Great cover defence again. Connolly still can't get on, by the way. How he got the ball away, but a bit awkwardly. Wright trying to change direction and burrow his way through. Here's Farrell, flings it wide, but well, he took his eye off it there, did Murdoch, with Saylor coming in to make the tackle. So the restart for the Brisbane Broncos. Took a hard bang there, did Mick Cassidy. There's Murdoch. This is O'Connor. Radlinski, they're trying to work all sorts of little scissors angles. Farrell trying to find a gap on that far side, can't do so. Horton trying to go from the acting half-back position. Last tackle this. They're looking for something over in this near corner, but it's launched over there by Farrell. Now, what's going to happen here? Oh! Well, that was so close. The referee, it's picked up by Brisbane, but that was so close to Wigan picking up something there. But a nice variation from Wigan. Well, Mundine is a little bit of a will-o'-the-wisp character, and he's got the ball away. Oh, bad mistake again. Bad knock on there. So Brisbane not beyond making errors as well. That was Andrew G who dropped it, and that will give plenty of heart to Wigan. They'd worked hard up at that end, lost possession. Mundine was jinking and turning, and it looked as though they'd have to do a fair bit of defending, but then the error gives the ball back to Wigan, or hopefully anyway, from this put-in. Paul flips it off to Connolly. Paul changing it again. This is Johnson. Good play. Murdoch. Up very quickly again, Wigan, and Farrell driving forward. This is Connolly, just manages to hold on to it, but then gives it away. Well, he had to try and get it back and was hoping somebody was going to be in support, because otherwise he was going to be in touch. He managed to do that, but he's only, unfortunately, given it to the Broncos. Last tackle. Lockyer's kick. Cowie getting it away to Johnson. It was an awkward height for him to take it at. He had to check, rather. Murdoch, Wright did brilliantly to keep that alive. Farrell was calmness itself. Oh, bad mistake that. Unfortunate error. But you can't afford to make them against a team like this. It was Stuart Lester, the man who unfortunately couldn't keep hold of the ball. He knows as well as anybody else what a disappointing mistake that was. Carroll. There's a real jack in the box, this Mundine fellow. He's going to go through the lot. He's got support, and the ball just spilling out of the hands. But what a great run that was again by Anthony Mundine, who's been a real thorn in Wigan's side in this half. Lovely ability to sidestep and shimmy one way and then the other, and they're all standing off him. But that was great work by Connolly. Here's Johnson. The cover is across, though. Good riposte, though, by Wigan. Murdoch. Paul gets it away. Good ball. Is the support. This is Murdoch. Still going, Murdoch. Oh, just couldn't get the ball away. Hangs on to it brilliantly, but that was good play by Wigan. The crowd are up now. And the referee is saying there was holding down in the tackle there. And that's going to be a sin bidding. And Lockyer is the defender. So Lockyer, the offender, as he comes off the field. You can hear what the fans think about it. In fact, it's De Vere, I beg your pardon. So Mike De Vere is off for 10 minutes, and Farrell has the chance to close the gap for Wigan. coming up to the 30-minute mark. Going to be a Wigan substitution as well. Bringing on Lee Hansen. Neil Cowie is going off. And there's the 2 points for Andy Farrell. So his 2 penalties racking up Wigan's 4 so far. But Brisbane lead still by 6 points to 4. Sailor's lost his boot, but he's kept going, and it was thrown away down the field by Cassidy. That's Philip Lee, the substitute on. As Lockyer with one really to test the defence. Oh, it's well taken. Very well taken indeed by Henry Paul. Johnson trying to drive forward. Well, fitness, of course, is of paramount importance. Radlinski flicking it onto Robinson. Has he got the pace to go down that far side? Great tackle over there, putting Robinson into touch. But it was a good little bit of work between Radlinski and Robinson on that far side. Super tackle, though, putting Robinson into touch. Great bit of defending by the Brisbane Broncos. It was Darren Smith, the man who made the tackle. There's Mundine again. He's it's as though he's the same magnetic field as the rest of the Wigan players, and he seems to be able to move away from them as they come in to tackle him. There he is again. Hard hit there on Driscoll. Last tackle. Looked a little bit of a knock on. Referee says it was with the boot. Wigan must beware. Well taken by Connolly, but the follow-up was a good one by Saylor. So it'll be a drop out from between the posts here from Wigan, and more pressure on the Wigan defence. 7 minutes to go to half-time. Wigan 2, Brisbane 4. I beg your pardon, Wigan 4, Brisbane 6. Well, that was a bad error, and the crowd are letting him know all about it. Bad error by John Driscoll. That really was a massive bonus as far as Wigan Warriors are concerned. Came a little bit out the sun as the ball came across him, and that, I think, as much as anything, was what put him off. But it was a good kick nevertheless. Connolly, nowhere to go. Farrell inside. Oh, good play by Cassidy. Murdoch trying to get it away. Holds on to it in the end, did the right thing. Paul going on the short side. Here's Connolly. Connolly trying to find the gap. Good defending. Brisbane effectively down to 12. They've got a man injured on the 25-metre line. Knocked through. Wigan pick it up again, and that'll be 6 more for them. And the referee's attention trying to be caught. I think there's a serious injury to one of the Brisbane players. That was Hansen driving through. All the players taking on plenty of water, vital in these conditions. So easy to dehydrate, and a stretcher being called for, always very sad to see. Doctor looking a little bit concerned. I have to confess, I can't see who it is that's down. And in fact, it's Lazarus who's down, so Glenn Lazarus will be leaving the field. A big blow to Brisbane Broncos, not only for the World Club Championship, but of course domestic competition as well, if it's a serious ankle injury, either a break or possibly ligament damage. But they're being very, very careful indeed about how he's put on that stretcher and how he'll go off the field. Now, as hostilities are ready to resume, Horton, big one on Horton. Here's Hansen. Cassidy, change of direction from Farrell. Connolly trying to get through. Again, great defending from the Brisbane Broncos. Last tackle this. Saylor is underneath it, knocked back. Brilliant, is he there? Is he down? The referee says no, just held up. But that was a great bit of play. It very, very nearly came back. Stuart Lester tipped the ball back. Unfortunately, Andy Johnson just couldn't burrow his way to the line. Last tackle. Lockyer. Big hit on Leicester. Big swing as well from Andrew G, which thankfully didn't connect. And an injury to one of the Brisbane players, a blood bin injury. So on the field, wearing number 44, comes Shane Walker. Two brothers on the substitutes bench for Brisbane, Ben Walker and Shane Walker. Ball to Connolly, got it away to Johnson, did well enough, but good defending by Walters and Saylor. Cassidy. Murdoch, Farrell, this is the last tackle. Oh, it was missed, but it went backwards, says referee Cummings, and that was the right decision. So Saylor collects. The hooter will go any minute now for half-time. Excellent tackle on Steve Renouf, but they still managed to keep the ball alive, Brisbane. This is Lee. And the last thing that Wigan want is to concede one just before the break. Meanwhile, there are problems here. Problems for two Wigan players who are really struggling badly. One of them is Johnson, and the other, I can't quite see at the moment, he was screaming in agony. It may be Robinson, who was in absolute agony, and Simon Horton raced to him straight away. Could see there was a problem. May just have swallowed his tongue for a moment. Seems to be all right now. Johnson is up, but the trainer is saying, I think, that he's got a shoulder injury which he's going to struggle with. And Johnson is taking his place in that defensive line for the moment anyway, but I know he's not fit, and Cardis is trotting down the line to take his place. Meanwhile, the concern is elsewhere. It's not, in fact, Jason Robinson that's down. It is, behind the stretcher, Lee Hansen. Well, I'm sure. Does he want to continue? Well, it's an heroic effort if he does. In fact, I think the doctor is saying that he has to go off the field. And Hansen is indeed going off down the tunnel. A half which has now been going on for 44 minutes. Yes, and sensibly left as well down in that corner by Daryl Cardis. Well taken by Paul. Gets the ball away to Cardis. Nowhere to go for him. Leicester tackled. About 30 seconds to go of actual playing time. That one taken cleanly on the far side by De Vere. Shane Walker all wrapped up by Horton. And there is the hooter for half-time. The half-time score, Wigan 4, Brisbane 6. But a high-quality game between two excellent sides. And Wigan certainly going some way in the first 40 minutes anyway to redeeming themselves after that 34-0 defeat down in Australia. Lots to play for. A really, really hard and rugged game. And what twists, I wonder, will the second 40 minutes produce? Half-time then, Wigan 4, Brisbane 6. So the second 40 about to begin. I wonder what it will provide. Well, if it provided the crunching tackles and the great defending that we saw in the first half, then it will certainly be a very, very interesting and tense game, that's for sure. So the second half about to begin then of this game in the second phase of the World Club Championship. Wigan against Brisbane Broncos. Wigan leading by, or rather Brisbane leading by 6 points to 4 as Wigan start the second half. G tackled. That is Lee. Well taken by Paul. Showing he can be effective in the tackling stakes as well as the offensive department of his game. Horton just taking a bang in the mouth last tackle, so that's why Farrelly kicked. Good chase. Good work by Chris Rudlinski. This is Carroll, who's scored in all the previous 3 World Club Championships games he's played in before today. There's Renouf tackled. Saylor gets the ball away. Good work this by Wigan. That was Peter Ryan. Good kick into the corner. Robinson from the acting half-back. Well, Robinson made about 10 metres for his side. Oh, that was a dicey one, and that was a forward pass, and in any event the ball is picked up. Well, that was they lost the plot there, Wigan, to say the least, and they've given the ball away in their own half of the field. Brad Thorne still making progress. Oh, bad error that by Kevin Walters. Cardis did well to take that one. Crowd getting on to right a little bit, but I can tell you he's playing with a pain-killing injection for, I think it's a groin injury, but he's playing definitely with a pain-killing injection. Problem for John Driscoll after that tackle, but he's up and back in the line. Farrell flips it long, taken by Cardis. Trying to jink one way and the other, but comfortably bundled into touch there. Good play by Brisbane. Just a little bit of lack of cohesion at the start of the second half from Wigan. Good ball skills from Murdoch. Good defence there by the Warriors. There's this will-o'-the-wisp. Perez, look at the change of pace from him. That was a great try. Well, he's been threatening that all the game, Anthony Mundine, the ex-St George's man. And there he was, jinking one way and the other. They were mesmerised by him. He saw the gap, had the pace to go through it. And it's try time for Brisbane. A lovely try by Anthony Mundine. Easy one this for Lockyer, and he makes no mistake. So it's Wigan 4 points, Brisbane Broncos 12. There's Robinson coming infield to try to add some sort of variation to the Wigan attack. Farrell with the kick. It's a good one as well by Andy Farrell. Deep, about 10 metres from the try line on this near side of the field. Almost 9 minutes gone in the second half. Good work by the Wigan tacklers. G tackled. Sailor getting involved. Last tackle. Oh, well, Lockyer just getting away from the challenge there and getting his kick in, taken by Paul. Connolly, well, he's got no support whatsoever. He's got to go the long way round, and there were two to shut the gate on him. There's Robinson trying to pierce this line of purple and white shirts. Holding in the tackle. Good drive by Wigan. Now, can they get something here? Here's Wright. Horton trying to make the breakthrough. Again, hint of holding. Paul getting it out to Murdoch. Murdoch trying to drive through, but again the line stays straight and true and firm from Brisbane Broncos. Wright again. Farrell getting it out on the far side to Robinson. He's going to have to come back inside, pursued by Sailor. Still going. Paul, Murdoch getting it out. Oh, there was a chance there for Redlinski, who missed it altogether. It was salvaged in the end, but it might have been try time there. And 6 more tackles now after that error from Brisbane. This is Holgate who's on the field at the start of the second half. Good play. Cassidy. The crowd really trying to get behind Wigan now. Can they keep their heads? Here's Wright. Oh, that was a great tackle, but the ball falling free, but there's still no way through. Oh, and the ball going backwards. Went back, says the referee. Play on. Horton tried to make for the line. Held up, though, by 3 Brisbane tacklers. Can they produce the switch here, Wigan? Here's Connolly. Little tap through. Oh, good cover defence. Excellent play by Sailor. Well, that was good defending by Brisbane Broncos. A good period of attacking by Wigan, but the Broncos were up to it. High tackle. Still Brisbane leading by 12 points to 4. And 29 metres from the Warriors line. Oh, good tackle that on Darren Smith. There's Carroll, quick and strong, goes straight. There's this man Mundine, flip inside, it's try time, is it? No, they just got back. Saylor keeps it in. Last tackle. Desperate last-ditch defending there by Wigan, and the ball switched to this near side. It's 3 against 1. Brilliantly taken by Chris Radlinski. Oh, that was superb. They were lining up there, the Broncos, and Radlinski, who'd taken a bad bang on his right hand in the previous attack that Wigan had put on, took that one superbly. Here's Horton now. Here's Horton. Just couldn't get away. Brought down like a stag by the hounds. Oh, a rare error from Farrell. Knock on. So, chances for Brisbane again. Just took his eye off it. "15 minutes of the 40 gone. Brisbane in front by 6 points. Mistake by Mundine. Now there could be something on here for Paul. Paul pass out to Cardis. Henry Paul flips it to Connolly. Connolly going forward. Robinson in support from the acting half-back position, trying to jink and find that little ray of light in that wall of purple and white jerseys. Right to Farrell. Paul, Connolly. He tries to drive through the middle, but there just doesn't seem to be a way through there. Murdoch, Farrell. Kick for the line. Is there too much on it? Yes, it just goes dead. Well, something different from Wigan. Something else for Brisbane to think about. But again, good defending by this Australian outfit. And the ball lost. The error from Lockyer. So a little bit of hope now for Wigan as the ball just patted back by Cowie. Cowie, by the way, playing his 200th game today for Wigan. Here he is with the ball again. Cardis, there's no way through. Last tackle. And it's an advantage for Wigan. Ball dipped through, but Connolly wasn't able to get on the end of that one. They rather gave it away there a little bit, Wigan. They didn't need to knock the ball through like that. They could have held it and gone for the tackles, but they decided to go for glory. It was a gamble, because there's no way that Gary Connolly was going to get on the end of that one. Again, the chasers very quickly up onto Paul there. There's Robinson. Well, the players are never onside there. And offside once again. Cardis brought down. Well, they're about 8 metres away when this ball is being played. Farrell's kick downfield. Lockyer deciding to let it bounce, and in the end deciding to leave it for Wendell Saylor. Was that ball played properly? Last tackle coming up. And it goes dead in the end, although there was just a moment there where it looked a possibility as Michael De Vere chased. And a player injured over on the far side. It's Steve Renouf, the man who scored the winning try against Great Britain in the 1992 World Cup final. Harry tackled Murdoch. Simon Horton. Well, looked like a little bit of a shepherd there. Cassidy, Murdoch, Farrell. This is Paul. Robinson. Farrell always there. Murdoch well tackled. Great tackle there by Carroll. Well taken by Lockyer. So still just the one score in the second half. And the score which makes it Wigan 4, Brisbane 12, 23 minutes of the 40 gone. Oh, bad mistake by Van Dijk, but I suppose he's allowed one. Crucial stage of the game, we feel here. Both sets of players tiring. Errors likely to be made. Oh, that was a good piece of ball handling skill out there by Farrell. Robinson as well took it well. Oh, and a bad mistake by Connolly. And just the point I was making. Looked a little bit forward, but there's a try on here for the Broncos, and that's it. Steve Renouf goes through, and Steve Renouf scores for Brisbane Broncos, and that should be enough to see off the challenge of Wigan Warriors, I'm afraid. Question about whether the pass was forward. The crowd, or some of them, thought it was, but the referee, most importantly, didn't, and Steve Renouf goes through for the third try of the afternoon for Brisbane Broncos, who now lead by 16 points to 4. Strangely for Lockyer, getting it all wrong, and so it remains Wigan 4, Brisbane 16. 26 minutes gone, 14 to go, but I fear that Steve Renouf's try has put this game beyond the Wigan Warriors. We shall see. Right with the kick, but straight to Darren Lockyer. So the knock on, given Wigan the opportunity almost on the halfway line to try and build something here. They need something, you feel, in the next 5 minutes if they're going to salvage this game. Oh, and they won't salvage it with mistakes like that. So more defending for Wigan to do. Speaking to for Cowie. And Lockyer is going to make them pay for that error with a penalty. So this is a kick of the food and drink variety for Darren Lockyer. He's already goaled 7 times against Wigan in both the matches that the two clubs have played against each other in the World Club Championship, and that kick makes it 8. Wigan 4, Brisbane 18. Oh, and another mistake, I'm afraid, by Wigan. And they're making too many of those to get back into the game. That time the offender was right. Thorne tackled. And a forward pass given to the ironic applause of the crowd. Connolly. Robinson. He'll keep going to the end. Murdoch, but it's one-out stuff from Wigan at the moment, I'm afraid. We'll chip through. And the referee giving the foul there. As the run was made forward, the player deliberately blocked. The player can stand in the way if that's his position, but he's not allowed to move out of position to deliberately block. And Stuart Cummings said that's what happened. Now, can Wigan get a try on the scoreboard near the end of this game? Paul, this is Horton at full steam, still going Horton, but just managing to keep in play. Cardis, Paul, Murdoch. This is Cassidy. Paul, Farrell, big men coming up, Connolly. Again, great defence by Brisbane. Is there a spare man? Well, if there was the knock-on again, and once again, Wigan just not able to do it in a tight situation, and it's the pressure that this Brisbane defence has been putting on them as much as anything that has caused those errors. Five minutes remaining. Wigan 4, Brisbane 18. There's Renouf. Last tackle. Walters sends it forward. Oop. Slipped by Robinson. Still going, little Jason Robinson. Well, they just managed to gather the thing up. But they're playing out time, you feel, Wigan at the moment. They're trying hard enough, but all the ideas are coming to nothing. Connolly going for it, and again, another deliberate obstruction. And he's been sent for 10 minutes in the sin bin for that little error. Little transgression, I should say. And he's only going to spend 3 minutes over the line. It's Ben Walker, the elder of the two brothers, who's going off.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's sponsors of Logitech have chosen the man of the match. It's Wigan's number 9, Mick Cassidy.
Mick Cassidy getting the man of the match award for the Wigan players, but clearly if we were picking one overall, it would have to go to one of the Brisbane players. And in my mind, Anthony Mundian has done as much as anything to win this game for the Broncos. Still, that line is there. No matter how much they swing the ball out, they're all coming up in a straight line. There isn't a chink in it. And Wendell Saylor has dived on the ball and won it